What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioWare 3 Raw TV. As you guys can see from this sling here on my neck, and from the title of this video, I tore my pec today. My left pec. My right one is the one that I tore back in 2011, 2012. And today, tore the left one. Now, we were filming and documenting this whole thing, the workout, etc., because my goal was, after last week, I came in the gym last week, and just like randomly, like I was feeling good, I felt strong. The day before, I was doing, chin-ups with no problem. The week before, I was doing dips, like body weight dips, no problem, sets of 15. I was feeling strong. So I decided to just kind of go, you know what, let me see bench press-wise what I can do. First day back in 7 years, I benched 225 for 8, and I could easily have gone for like 15. Like, I felt like there was no weight on the bar. And it dawned on me, I was like, look, if I can get 225 for 20 reps, I'm getting close to having that max of 405, which is where I used to be. But I was 270 before, I'm 205 now. So in my head, I was like, shit, I mean, I stopped at 225 last week because I was kind of scared. I was like, holy shit, that felt so light, it felt so good. No twinges, no nothing. So this week I was like, look, I'm going to go ahead and go from 225. I'll see how 275 feels, which is just jumping up 50 pounds. And depending on how that feels, we'll just kind of play it by ear. And then, I got to 275, decided to jump it up to 315. 275 was light. It felt like there was nothing on the bar at all. I don't even know how to explain it, but that jump from 275 to 315, and I rested long enough. I don't feel like I was out of the groove on it. I feel like it went down. And as soon as I went to reverse to push back up, that's when the tear happened. We got a shout out to Steve Granzella. I'm probably going to butcher his name for the straps, the gangster wraps, the slingshot. He hooked us up like so many times with stuff, and now that I'm benching again, I get to use this stuff, so I'm super excited. So thanks, Steve. Let's see what we got. We got Kia spot me over here.
Hi.
Kia's my just in case. IFBB Pro figure competitor, Kia Jake. We just call her Kia, but Kia Jake. Let's call her Kia.
I'm going to save his life.
I'm thankful for you, Kia.
275 pounds.
I'm going to leave my belt on just in case.
9 years, 8 years, something like that. And right there is where the tear happened. As soon as I went to reverse it, and actually the kid spotting me is, he goes to my gym. He actually works at my gym. And I don't think he realized that I actually tore my pec. I think he thought that I was just struggling with it because it took him a second to grab it. And like as soon as I reversed, I felt it literally go rip and hurt it. I was like, take it. Ah. And I think he was like, thought I was trying to do like a force rip, which kind of made it even worse. But I don't think I communicated well enough that, I mean, I had ripped my pec. I wasn't thinking, hey, I tore my pec, get this off me. I thought he was just going to take the weight off. So that might have actually made it a little bit worse by, me not communicating right with him. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. And it is what it is, guys. I mean, there's not much I can say about it. We have some more footage here of the doctor's office or the hospital.
So here we are in the hallway. My happy patient.
All right, guys, so you saw the last footage in the gym where I got, it seems to be buried under 315, which actually felt pretty light. But as soon as I started to reverse that weight, I felt the pec just tear. Like I felt it go from this side, just rip up in here. And I wouldn't say it was super painful, but it ripped. I mean, it was like I heard it in my head, which is a telltale sign of tearing your pec. So now we're in the hospital waiting for me to be seen to find out like how bad it is. And I don't think it's a full tear. I don't think the tendon, because I still have full range of motion and it feels like it's still attached, but it's not. It's like a huge hole up in my armpit up here, and it's just like the pain is just like, yeah, I can feel like the delt, where the delt is, and then the pec is just like there's a hole over here, and it's like, oh fuck man, it hurts. But so we're gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna have Aaron, if the doctor will let us film, I'm gonna have Aaron film so that we can.
You want to film the doctor actually talking to?
Yeah, if he'll let us film it. Yeah. Well, it should be a learning experience for everybody. Like when your wife tells you not to go bench press.
We will talk about this later because I'm not letting it go. But not right now.
All right, so as of right now, it looks like it's a partial tear, not a full tear. It didn't roll up off the bone. Going into x-rays, that's x-ray right there. Why does it say interventional pain medicine? That's for, anyways, it's where the x-ray thing is. So I have to have the x-ray to make sure that a piece of the bone actually didn't come off, which he was like, I don't think it did, but it's a possibility a piece of the bone came off with it. And then from there, he said, basically, since it's not a full tear, and it's interesting because the doctor tore his pec too. He's not a bodybuilder. He felt like on his boat and caught his arm in the thing and tore his pec. And he said that even though it wasn't a full tear, he wishes he had it repaired. I don't know what that means, but I mean, how many people? I mean, I tore the other pec. I've torn the rotator cuff. It's, it's just a matter of like, if it's functional 100%, there's no reason to really get it done. But if it's not functional, then we're gonna have to do the surgery, which I assume is gonna be like really quick. But we're gonna have to see. So they gave me like 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, right?
Yes.
Is that what they gave me?
Mm-hmm.
And ice. So we're gonna do that now and get ready for the x-ray and see like what's what. But now the pain is probably at like an 8 or 9.
I was gonna ask.
It was like about a 5 before, but the longer I sit, the more it swells. Like the actual weight of my arm hurts.
I can see that you're kind of moving to the side. Is that just to get the pressure?
Well, I'm like leaning on this thing right here,
right.
just to have something to lean on. But it doesn't because the pressure's still pulling down on the arm. Even with the sling, it's pulling down the arm.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter which way you go because the arm is just hanging from the where it inserts into the shoulder and the clavicle. It's just its weight from your arm, So obviously we're going to be out of the gym for a little bit, so it's going to be. Are you all right, guys? So as of right now, after the X-rays came back, there's he said there's some calcification, which was interesting, of the bone itself, which I don't know if that would have made a weakening of that tendon to begin with. But he said there's calcification, scar tissue, and tendinitis. He said, right? Tendinitis, calcification, and scar tissue all in this area, which annoyed me to begin with. But there's no, he doesn't think the full tendon tore, it's just the muscle itself, which there's not much you can do. So basically, go home, ice, rest. Take my ibuprofen, 800 milligrams every 4 hours or whatever it is. 8 hours, 4 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours. And in about a week, follow up with the other doctor, and they're gonna decide whether or not, surgery or not. So, but as of right now, it looks like there's probably not surgery because it's not, the full tendon tear. But so yeah, so I mean, my only question to him was like, well, doc, when can I start bench pressing again?
I swear to God, I will come through this camera and I will smack you.
And meanwhile, Erin was like, you're gonna get hurt, right? And I was like, nah, I'm fine. Now, the last time she told me don't get hurt was on her birthday a couple of years ago. I was squatting and she was like, don't hurt yourself, it's my birthday. I'm like, I'm fine. And I went to the gym and I squatted on this hack squat machine and threw my back out. And I remember getting off the hack squat machine and being like, Erin's gonna kill me. Like, it didn't even matter if I couldn't walk. Like, I was bent in half like Erin's gonna kill me. I remember telling Aaron Clark, I'm like, my wife is gonna kill me, it's her birthday. And he's like, shit.
Okay, look, the lesson here is, guys, listen to your wives. Okay,
Yeah.
we know what we're talking about.
You know
I
what?
was like, babe, please don't do this. He's like, it's fine, I can do this.
Every major injury that I've had, I felt great that day. But like when you were younger, you felt great and you could bench press 500 pounds, right? And in my head, honestly, like I'll tell you guys right now, to be 100% honest with you guys, I had a 495 pound bench press at 21 years old, at 270 pounds. And it was a clean press with just wrist wraps on. It was like these cheesy wrist wraps. It wasn't even like a bench shirt, nothing like that. And I get so much shit for that because back then there was no phone cameras and stuff like that. So we didn't record it. Everybody did it in my gym, 405, 450, it wasn't a big deal. And I had this little gleam of hope that I was like, yo, I did 225 for like 8 reps last week and I could have done 15 easy. If I can get that for 20, that's about where the weight was when I was doing 450, 400 or whatever. And I was like, I can get back to 400. Like, that's awesome because nobody ever believed me, right? So my own ego getting in the way of trying to prove something to other people and myself to prove that I still have it because you're getting older. And I felt good. Last week was great. I did chin-ups yesterday. I was like, fuck, man, everything is coming back. What's interesting is this side tore because the BPC157 healed this side on the rotator cuff so well that this is so much stronger that the load on this one, I think that this side was actually stronger and it bore the weight on this side more than the other one. And that was it. Like the pec just couldn't take it. So now we start the recovery process. I don't know how to do it because I've never done it before, but I think what we're gonna do is I'll reduce my carbs and fats for a little bit. I'll be doing cardio every day still. I'll do legs a few times a week. Consistently try to keep my metabolism up. I'll lose muscle, but I'll drop fat at the same time like I do with my rotator cuff. And when it comes time to get back in the gym, start easing back into things and going back like I did before and start trying to get my physique back on track like that. But couldn't be worse timing, right? GIFD is launching. I'm excited. I'm like, dude, if I could do that 405 bench, I would feel like I was 20 years old again. And 275 felt like there was nothing on the bar today. I was just like, shit. So that 315, like, had it not torn on the way down, would have went up no problem. That's 2 bench presses in 7 years. Like, I really felt like I had it in me, and I guess as we get older, our bodies don't have it in us, and it's not a form thing. It wasn't like I was bouncing the weight. It wasn't like I went too heavy. It was just that my body just obviously can't take it anymore. So also the doctor, it's pretty funny, right? So he goes, hey, there's some calcification and some scar tissue. Anybody, give you medicine in that area before? I said, yeah, when I used to take steroids. And he looks at the other guy and goes, he just admitted it. He just admitted it. He took steroids. I was like, he goes, yeah, most people don't admit it. So he was just like, he was floored that I admitted that I took steroids.
It was awesome. You guys went a moment.
Yeah,
We were like, yeah,
he's
of
cool.
course you did.
He's animated. I like him. He's cool. So now we get to eat, right? Discharge and eat because I'm so hungry.
Oh my God, I'm so starving. We were having a great workout.
It was a great day, right? We went out, we went
Dude.
to, did some stuff at
It was
Target,
an awesome
and
day.
went to the pet store over there. I was like, yeah.
We were having a great workout. Everything was awesome. Everything felt good today. And then here we are.
There's that little voice that tells you, like, maybe you shouldn't do this. I'm like, shut up, shut up.
That's called Aaron.
Yeah.
Your little voice is
It's like
called
the
Aaron.
devil and the angel on the shoulder.
Yes.
The angel's like, you shouldn't do this. Devil's like, go for it.
He only has devil and devil.
Yeah, double devils.
Pretty much.
Double devil. All right, guys, we're home now, and just kind of show you guys what's happening. So this is my normal pec. You can see where the pec outline normally is. If you look at this one, it's like way high up here where the tendon was, and this piece is actually rolled up in here, which you can feel it inside there. If you stand like this, you can see the pec is swollen, but if I lean back, you can see over here how it's swollen and rolled up inside. And the tendon itself, it's like, I guess it's a thicker fibrous tendon that the doctor was saying. So technically the tendon itself didn't tear, but I mean, I can't,
Can you turn to
to the side.
Well, that one you just see the big one, but if you turn
Like
to
you
the other
see,
side,
like literally, like I mean, I can't explain to you how. I wish both pecs looked like this. Like I wish I could, it would stay like that, and I could do that to the other
This-
one.
'cause
You
the
see,
other-
this one looks like a pec. Like I look normal, like a normal human being. And this one I look like fucking like a pillow stuck in there. Or
it
something.
looks like whatever that facing is called is like
It's all mad. It feels mad right now. It's like, oh fuck, it hurts. Yeah, so that's that. So tomorrow the recovery begins, or tonight the recovery begins, the rehab begins. Ibuprofen, Motrin, no training for about 4 weeks. We're going to let the swelling go down, see where it's at. I mean, I still can move the arm around. It just hurts. It's just painful. So at this point, it's just a matter of trying to get back to being healthy. And I can pretty much say from this point on, no matter what my ego says, no matter who out there says that, you know, you suck for not being able to do a bench press, there's probably no more bench presses in my future, to be honest with you. It just sucks. It sucks in general because I was feeling good, feeling strong. I felt great the last couple of weeks, and I was doing things I hadn't done in years. And yeah, sometimes you just take it a little too far, and although your head, you think you're 18 years old still, sometimes your body will let you know you are not 18 years old, and it will let you know quick. So be aware, guys. Just because you're feeling good, remember, you know, you're that one split second away from getting an injury, and I got lucky. It didn't tear off the bone. It's probably not going to set me back more than maybe a couple of months max. There are other people out there that have to have surgery, rip that stuff off the bone. It's never the same again. And, you know, they are still young in their careers and trying to be competitors and stuff. So I kind of actually am lucky that I'm out of the competition thing and competing and stuff and just dealing with the fact that I won't be able to train for 4 to 6 weeks, which I love training. Like, this is a big eye-opener. It's like my rotator cuff. Like, I need to just be able to stay in the gym and train because I love training. I love that shit. So it's like, I think that's going to be the biggest thing is going back to the gym and not knowing what I can and can't do. And I've already talked to people on, you know, the phone that have had the same injury, and they're like, look, you just got to train around it. Everything will be okay, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But this one's definitely worse than my other one. It's worse than my rotator cuff. This is probably the worst injury I've ever had in my life. And it literally came out of nowhere, honestly. So it is what it is. Thank you all for reaching out, Instagram and stuff. We were putting up stuff on Instagram, filming it, and there's a video up there, and then I put up the other ones about what had happened. We were heading to the hospital. So thank you guys for reaching out. Thank you guys for the support. And now the rehab begins. I'm BioStream. I approve this message, and we're out.